In the summer of 1777, the British launched a bold plan to crush the American rebellion once and for all. Lieutenant John Burgoyne, otherwise known as Gentleman Johnny, marched south from Canada with 7,000 troops. These were British regulars, Hessian mercenaries, loyalists, as well as his native allies. And his mission was clear: drive down the Hudson Valley, split the colonies in two, and end the war by Christmas. Easy peasy, right? That's where you're wrong, kiddo. The American wilderness refused to cooperate. Swamps swallowed the wagons, patriots felled trees across the roads, and supplies ran dangerously low. And to make matters worse, his native allies began defecting. And by the time he neared Saratoga, his proud army was tired and they were hungry and they were behind schedule. Waiting for him on the commanding ridge of Bemis Heights was General Horatio Gates with a rapidly growing American force, now more than 10,000 Continentals and militia. The position was strong: steep slopes, thick woods that turned any attack into a killing field, and swamps. Gates preferred to sit tight and let the British bleed. However, his fiery subordinate, one Benedict Arnold, burned to strike first and hit them hard. So on September 19th, the first battle exploded at Freeman's Farm. Daniel Morgan's riflemen opened up with deadly precision, picking off British officers from the trees. The fighting turned savage. Musket smoke, bayonet charges, the brutal hand-to-hand combat across the fields and woods. Benedict Arnold rode furiously through the chaos, rallying men and throwing fresh troops into every breach. The British technically held the farm by nightfall, but at a terrible cost. Nearly 600 casualties. Burgoyne's army was bleeding out, and the reinforcements he desperately needed never arrived. 3 tense weeks passed, with daily skirmishes and growing hunger in the British camp. Then on October 7th, desperate and low on food, Burgoyne sent out a reconnaissance force. Gates struck hard. Morgan's riflemen hammered them again, and Arnold, defying orders, charged straight into the fight. Arnold led a thunderous assault that shattered the British right flank and stormed the key Bremen Redoubt. His horse was shot out from under him, and a bullet shattered his leg. But the redoubt fell, and the British line collapsed, and Burgoyne retreated, only to find himself completely surrounded by nearly 20,000 Americans with no food, no ammunition, and no hope of rescue. Now, on October 17, 1777, Burgoyne formally surrendered his entire remaining army of roughly 5,800 men, and this was the first time a British army had capitulated in the modern era. Saratoga was the turning point. News raced across the ocean. France, who had been privately funding the American cause, finally openly joined the American rebellion, bringing troops and ships and money. Spain and the Netherlands followed. What had been a desperate colonial revolt suddenly became a world war with a real path to victory. The Battle of Saratoga proved that these ragged patriots could defeat the mighty British Empire in the field. And it was won through stubborn defense, deadly riflemen, raw courage, and the unbreakable will of ordinary farmers and soldiers who simply refused to quit. And that, my friends, is the story of the Battle of Saratoga and why it was so brilliant. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you, and stay free.